What if I told you there is an island where you can relax on golden beaches in the morning, explore volcanic landscapes in the afternoon, and watch the sunset above the clouds in the evening? Welcome to Tenerife, the largest of Spain's Canary Islands. Tenerife is much more than beaches and sunshine. From dramatic slopes of Mount Teide to charming mountain villages, Atlantic coastline, incredible food, and some of the best sunsets in the Canary Islands, there is a surprising amount to discover here. So let's explore Tenerife. What is Tenerife famous for? Definitely its coastline. In south of island, you'll find popular resorts, lively promenades, restaurants, and plenty of sunshine. Playa de las Americas and Los Cristianos are ideal if you want to stay for a holiday with everything close by. But if you're looking for something more spectacular, head towards Costa Adeje. In Costa Adeje, you'll find beautiful beaches, clear Atlantic water, and dramatic coastal scenery. And Tenerife beaches aren't all golden. Some are covered in dark volcanic sand, a reminder that island was created by volcanic activity. If you're planning a trip to Tenerife, one of the first things you'll need to figure out is how are you going to get around. The island has surprisingly good public transport network, but depending on where you're staying and what you want to see. Renting a car can also make a huge difference. So let's start with buses. So Tenerife public buses are operated by DITSA. They are one of the best ways to travel around the island without renting a car. You'll need to find regular bus services connecting the major towns, resorts, airports, and many tourist attractions. The buses are generally comfortable and affordable, and particularly if you're staying in places such as Santa Cruz. The other ways to get around in Tenerife is renting a car. You can rent a car in any of those Tenerife airports, and renting a car gives you more freedom to visit places that aren't publicly convenient by public transport, especially mountains, villages, hiking points. Driving in Tenerife is generally straightforward, but there are a few things to keep in mind. The island has many mountains, some roads which are very narrow, steep, and winding. Also, parking can be very difficult in tourist areas and central Santa Cruz. If you do rent a car, don't automatically choose the biggest vehicle. A smaller car can be much easier to handle on narrow roads and when you're looking for parking. The other ways of transportation is taxis, which I would really not recommend. Taxis can be much useful, especially while you're going from Tenerife to airport or from airport to Tenerife. Imagine standing above the clouds, surrounded by the ancient volcanic landscapes with the views stretching across Canary Islands. Welcome to Teide National Park in Tenerife, home to Mount Teide, the highest point in Spain. At 3,718 meters above sea level, Mount Teide dominates the center of Tenerife. While the national park around it looks almost like another planet. Teide National Park is located in the center of Tenerife, one of Spain's Canary Islands. The park sits roughly 2,000 meters above sea level and covers around 19,000 hectares. The landscape was created by volcanic activity and includes enormous calders, lava flows, volcanic cones, and spectacular rock formations. Teide National Park was declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2007. One of the best ways to experience Steed National Park is by car. As you climb away from the coast, the scenery changes dramatically from Tenerife's greenery, lower elevation levels to pine forests, volcanic landscapes, and eventually the high altitude landscape around Teed. If you don't want to drive, there are also public transport options. Another option is to explore by organized excursions from your resort or hotels. I booked this activity through Get Your Guide. So if you search and Get Your Guide according to your selective dates, you can just experience Steed National Park without any hassle. One of the most popular experiences in the park is taking a Teed cable car. The journey only takes about 8 minutes. As you rise above the volcanic landscapes, you'll get spectacular views across Tenerife and on clear days towards the Canary Islands. But here is something important. Taking a cable car does not automatically give you permission to walk to the summit. Now let's talk about one of the most magical experiences you can have in Teed National Park, which is stargazing. When the sun goes down and the crowds leave, Teed transforms into one of the best stargazing locations in the world. Thanks to its high altitude, clear skies, and very low light pollution, the night sky here becomes incredibly sharp and bright. On clear night, you can see the Milky Way stretching across the sky, thousands of stars, and even distant galaxies with the naked eye. Many visitors choose to join guided stargazing tours, which I chose and Get Your Guide, where expert guides use telescopes to show you planets like Saturn and Jupiter, star clusters, and deep sky objects you would never normally see. Some tours even include sunset viewing from above the clouds, followed by astronomy sessions once darkness falls. Sailing across the deep blue Atlantic Ocean, the sun is shining, the water is calm, and suddenly just beside your boat, a whale appears. Whale watching in Tenerife is one of the best places in the world to see whales and dolphins in their natural habitat. The waters between Tenerife and La Gomera are home to a rich marine ecosystem, making it one of Europe's top whale watching destinations. Tenerife is famous for its resident species, especially pilot whales, bottlenose dolphins, striped dolphins, occasionally sperm whales, and migratory species. Pilot whales are the stars here. You can often see them swimming very close to your boats, sometimes just few meters away. Tours usually last between 2 to 5 hours. Some boats are luxury with food and drinks, others are small, eco-friendly boats for more intimate experience. As the boat moves away from the coast, the water gets deeper and darker. A fin breaks the surface, a splash in the distance, a pod of dolphins racing alongside the boat. Sometimes the dolphins swim in front of the bow, sometimes they jump completely out of the water. And if you're lucky, you may see a whale surfacing slowly beside you. The best time to do this whale watching is in the morning times where you can see the calmer seas, and you can see plenty of boats around you with the same tour watching for the whales. These boats follow strict rules of no chasing whales, no disturbing natural behavior, keeping safe distances, limiting noise and speed. And what to bring for this activity? Definitely you need some sunscreen and sunglasses, some light jacket, because when you just leave the coast in the middle of the ocean, the weather is going to be more chiller. And don't forget to grab your phone or camera, and be mindful, you will definitely go through some seasickness, so be mindful to carry some seasickness tablets if needed. There is something unforgettable about being in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. No land in sight, just waves, wind, and wildlife. And then, while a whale appears silent, powerful, and free. This is not just a boat trip, this is a connection with the ocean. Some excursions offer more than just wildlife watching. Depending on your operator and trip, you may cruise along the spectacular southwest coastline, see the cliffs of Los Gigantes, stop for a swim or snorkel, and have a food or drinks on board. But if your main goal is a wildlife photography and observation, a dedicated whale watching trip be the better choice. The most amazing thing about whale watching isn't simply seeing a whale, it's seeing an animal that has complete freedom to decide where it goes. You can't call it over, you can't guarantee where it will surface, you can't control what happens next, and that's exactly what makes the experience special. You're entering the world, not bringing them to yours. And you can also listen to the whales. Some tours they provide a hydrophone. Instead of simply watching these whales, you can actually listen to their sounds underwater. You might be looking at a group of pilot whales on the surface while hearing their communication beneath the boat. It gives you a complete different understanding of what's happening beneath the ocean. So, if you're visiting Tenerife, take a break from the beaches, leave the coastline behind, head out onto the Atlantic, look beyond the horizon because somewhere beneath those waves, pilot whales are traveling through the deep blue ocean. Dolphins are moving through the water, and you might just witness one of the most unforgettable moments of Tenerife holiday. As my journey through Tenerife comes to an end, I leave the island the same way I arrived, with the ocean beneath me and the sky opened up ahead. The sun slowly disappears beyond the horizon, the clouds turn golden, the Atlantic reflects the last light of the day, and Tenerife begins to fade into the distance. But there is one final image I can't leave behind is Mount Teed rising above the clouds, silent, powerful, and watching over the island. From the beaches, volcanic landscapes, from the ocean to the summit, Tenerife is an island of contrast.